Okay, so this is our algebra review if you've forgotten how to do any of this. Our simple equations just go, we look for where's the letter, how is a number attached to the letter. This is +1, so we just do -1, and we always do the same thing from both sides of the equation. So we're just going to subtract 1 from both sides. And so that gives us 18 equals n. And so our answer is 18. The next one is very similar. Again, we have the x and we have a plus sign is the way these are joined together. But this time it is a -11. So we're just going to do the opposite. Opposite of -11 is +11. That's going to equal out to 0. And then we do the +11 on this side. So when we have a -20 plus 11, that leaves us with -9. And so our answer is -9. We could come back and check and make sure -11 minus 9 more, does that equal -20? And yes, it checks. Alright, so next we have a few more steps on this one. So anytime you see the parentheses, step 1 is to distribute. And so distribute means we multiply the outside number times both inside ones. So 8 times 2 is 16. We keep the v. 8 times 5 is 40. And then we keep the -3v. Keep our equal sign, keep 131. If you struggle with the equations, always remember to copy the same thing down right below it, just changing the step that you did. Step 2 is we have some like terms. We have a v here, we have a v here, and so we're going to combine like terms. So like terms means they have the same variable on the same side of the equation. And so it's just 16 minus 3. Keep the v with both of them. That gives us 13. So again, we carry down 131 equals 13v plus 40. Now we're trying to just figure out, hey, how do I get v by itself? Well, I need to move the plus 40 to the other side. And so I just do minus 40. This is the exact same thing we did up there. So our third step was subtract. And so that gave us, this cancels out to 0. 13v is still there. 131 minus 40 is 91. So now we have 91 equals 13v. And so then the last step, our step 4, is just to divide. And so we divide by 13. Divide's always what we do when they're joined, because that means 13 times v. And so that you can type into your calculator, it divides out to 7. And so our answer is 7. If you want to check that, you would just plug the 7 back in here. And so in the big graphing calculators, you can do the whole thing. Here we're going to have to work it out. So we do 2 times 7 is 14 plus 5. So it's 19, and then we multiply it times 8. And then we subtract so 152, and then 3 times 7. So we have 152 minus our 21 equals 131, and so it does check. So if I type those step by step into my calculator, I see that it checks. Alright, last one. This one's actually a little bit simpler. So this one we first distribute. So we get 6x plus 36 equals 84. 2, we're going to take this one that's joined with plus sign and subtract it. So that gives us 6x equals 48. And then step 3, just like on our last one, is to divide. To get x equals 8. And so those are the steps for that one. Okay, so then our quick review of slope. Slope is just rise over run. And so you take the 2 points they labeled for you, and you count your rise. So 1, 2, 3. So I went up 3. And then my run here is a backwards 1, so that's -1. So then my answer would be 3 over -1, which simplifies to -3. If I started at the other point, I would get the same slope. Here I would go down 3, so 1, 2, 3, so -3, and then forward 1, and so then that would give me -3 over 1, which still simplifies to -3. So it doesn't matter which point you start on, just remember if you're counting up it's positive, down is negative, forward is positive, backwards is negative. Alright, and then the next one we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and again a negative, -1, so that gives us 4 over -1, which gives us -4. Alright, so now on to our radicals. Your teacher might have taught you there's several different ways to simplify radicals, but radicals means we're going to figure out, hey, what's that perfect square, and take the square root of it. So first, look, are any of these already perfect squares? Yes, so this one is a perfect square. 16 is 4 times 4. So anytime you have square root of 16, which is just 4 times 4, equals 4. So anytime you can divide something into 2 equal numbers, that's your answer. The other ones, nothing else here is perfect square, so we're just going to have to break them down a little bit. And so the way I tell my students that seems to work for the most people is just to factor it out to the smallest numbers. So 8 we can divide by 2, that becomes 4. 4 divides again by 2 times 2. Okay, so now these are my numbers, and I move my double numbers outside the radical sign, and my single number stays inside. So this becomes 2 square root 2. So again, the double numbers move outside, just like here. My double numbers moved outside. There were no single numbers left inside. So 48, we divide to 2 and 24, then 2 and 12, then 2 and 6, then 2 and 3. So again, it divides out pretty easily. You can use your calculator if you need to. There's just a lot of 2's there. And we circle our doubles. And so doubles go outside, join them by multiplication sign, so now it becomes 2 times 2. There's one single 3 that stays inside. And then we simplify by multiplying those to 4. So our answer is 4 root 3. (20) easily divides by 2, so 2 and 10, 2 and 5, nice and easy. Doubles go outside, 5 stays inside. 27 does not divide by 2, so we're going to check the next one. It divides by 3, so it goes to 3 and 9, and then 9 is 3 and 3. So doubles go outside, 1 3 is left inside. (75) does not divide by 2. It does divide by 5, so you can start with 5. You could check and see what else it divides by. So if we do 75 divided by 5, it comes out to 15. And then 15 is the 5 and 3. We have double 5s, 3's left over. So that is your fact simplifying that you will see a lot of.